Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Beautiful morning here on the mountain, Sunday morning in Costa Rica. Just finished meditating a little while ago. Have just been kind of having a leisurely morning. Ooh, had a great breakfast. Had a big bowl of banana and ice cream. Got some cacao nibs when I was at the beach last week, and I decided to even cut a mammy sapote, so I had that with it. So day's going real well, and I wanted to do a video. So what I'm talking about today is just, like I say, another one of my opinion videos, my raw vegan take on fruit. I get asked questions from time to time, and I see this term, I see questions, I see talk about it, fruitarianism, I'm a fruitarian, all this. I'm not really into labels. So ergo, I don't talk about really fruitarianism, or I don't really talk about the raw vegan lifestyle from that aspect. Because like I say, to be quite honest, I'm not like anti-label, it's just that I'm so not interested into them. I'm not even sure what the definitions mean sometimes. Like, I've never seen like what is a proper definition for fruitarian. So anyhow, I just don't try to, I don't need to get involved with all of that because it doesn't benefit me. I like everything I'm doing, I have a path and I have a reason for, and it is going somewhere with me. I don't have time for the side stuff, like to say the right thing, to be part of this group, or to have this label, or to identify myself properly in the right place so to know who the people are that are going to identify with me. I just eat. I eat, and I try to keep it simple, and I try to keep it instinctual. I have people ask me sometimes in videos, I don't consider it a very intelligent question, sorry. If you've watched even more than 2 or 3 of my videos and you see how I eat, it's almost like, well, are you asking me if I'm stupid? How a kid asks, well, are you worried about your sugar with all that fruit you eat? Well, no, I'm not worried about that sugar with all the fruit I eat, or otherwise I wouldn't be eating it. What do you think? I'm sitting around here going, fruit's got too much sugar, I'm eating too much sugar, but I'm going to do it anyway. No, of course. Ergo, just simply by the fact that I'm eating all of it. No, I don't worry about blood sugar. I don't get in debating that stuff though. Listen, if you've ever, I don't know if people pick that up if they see me on social media or whatever, but you don't ever see me participating in these things because you figure out what you want to. I'm not going to win anything by winning an argument with you over blood sugar, over how much fat, over should you eat this, should you eat that. Now, personally, in my opinion, the whole blood sugar thing is an issue of fat more than it is of how much sugar you're taking in, but that's neither here nor there. The biggest thing for me, instinctually, it just feels right. And I'm drawn to it. There's nothing, it's not something that I've been told or that I read like, okay, this is how it's supposed to work. This is how our bodies are supposed to function. People talk about our bodies run on sugar. They do this and that. Not all that stuff, and I do believe it, but it's not really, it's simply, to me, my body calls for the fruit. Now that it didn't call for the fruit 5 years ago, but now that it's gotten fairly clean and I've left the garbage out for 5 years, that's what it calls for me. If it doesn't call for, if the fruit doesn't call out to you, well, I don't know what to tell you there, but it does to me. And that's what I'm going to always go about over anything, is if it's feeling right to me. There's no way somebody and I could make a mistake by this sometime, but there's no way you're going to argue in a cerebral way, like something coming just from what your comprehension of facts are, this information you got, that I'm going to take that over my feeling, the results I've got over that. I'm always open to things. If someday I start seeing okay, well, I don't feel quite right, and I start feeling led to, okay, well, this, but no, right now, that's how I do pretty much everything I do in life. I just go by the feel. Don't get me wrong, I've studied enough of the stuff, I do enough reading to where I'm not saying you can come into this lifestyle and just willy-nilly go okay, well, I'm just going to go on instinct. But I think I've put in time, and I continue to do, I read, I do research, I'm always trying to plug in holes. But I kind of work this stuff out on my own. I figured out, a while back that just trying to work it out online in groups and going back and forth arguing with people, that just has no use to me. It's just not utilitarian. Nothing ever gets solved. Nothing ever gets learned. So yeah, I feel great. Now, like I say, I'll just let the two extremes always debate themselves. On the one side, you got the people that don't eat a whole lot of fruit and they think fruit's bad and they think it's too much sugar and they blah blah blah. Even raw vegans, even high carb vegans, they have different ways of doing it. And hey, different strokes for different folks. I'm not arguing that. And then you have the extremists over here that they're fruitarians to the next level that don't even think you should be eating anything but fruit. I'm not ever even going to go into that. It's kind of like, when a kid says something to you that you're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to, but you don't really need to get into the whole debate of it because it will take up time and it will waste time. I'm not either one of those. I eat the amount of fruit that I eat. I do like my greens. I'm always going to want my greens, for minerals and just for balancing my body. This last week, I went down to the beach, so let's see, what did I end up doing? I had a salad last night, finally. I had on the night of the 6th day, I had a salad, and I had a huge thing of red leaf lettuce, and I had some fat, too. I had some tahini in my dressing. So I'm going to always want those greens. They just they call to me. I love the fruit. I can't even tell you how good it felt because I haven't done that in a couple of months, just to go on fruit for 5-6 days. But I felt the craving for the greens. I need the greens after about a while. And then like I say, yesterday when I went to the market, I went with the mentality of, okay, let's just see what happens. I might stay and just buy only fruit, but I'm going to see, the greens kind of called to me. So I got lettuce and I've got kale. So I will probably have some kale today. But yeah, I need those greens. I need those greens. I think that's a part of what we need to do. Like I say, I don't know. I guess I'm somewhere in the middle as far as the ratios go. 80-10-10. I'm not a full on 80-10-10 guy. There's a lot of stuff in the book that just doesn't really interest me. It doesn't resonate with me. But a large portion of the book does, and especially that number there. And I just kind of find if I just keep it simple, 80-10-10, more or less, I go a little higher on the fat certain times of the year. I go a little lower on the fat certain times of the year. I would say my diet, if you probably added up the calories, and I'm guesstimating here, if you added up the calories in my day-to-day, fruit would probably, and not just the carb part, fruit would probably make up 75%. It would have to. I would almost think it would have to. But, and then the greens, I'm going to have to get those greens in there. In fact, I just don't feel like I get enough greens. And, like I say, each their own, but I don't get to where Tanny Raw is. I know she's really diligent on getting all of those greens in every day. But I can tell you when I focus on that and I make a point of doing it regularly for a period of time, I can feel a difference. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you, some particulars like, oh, this happens here in this process, blah, blah, blah. I feel like take the as good as you feel on the fruit, that high on the fruit, and kind of just reining it in just a little bit, kind of having the control, the total control. I don't know. It's just a really good feeling. So I need those greens. I need the fat. For anybody that I know, people say there's fat in fruit, but no. Not. I have good hair. I have good skin. I'm going to have overt fat. Like I say, I'm not going to go nuts with it. And the pun there is, it's funny on the nuts. Nuts must be a real thing with people. People are always asking me about that, and it's kind of just a non-issue to me. It's I like nuts, I'll eat nuts. I'm not anti-nut. But they don't call out to me. It's not like I have a problem. It's not like I have to be careful or I'll overeat them. They're like, yeah. The only one I really have a thing for is pistachios, and I only get them every once in a while. But yeah, base of fruit, greens in there every day, a little bit of fat to balance it out, mixing up, getting your what am I trying to say? You're balanced right between the omega-3s and the omega-6s. But yeah, the fruit is always going to be a part of my life until my body tells me otherwise. I exist in my own little world on this journey. To be honest, in this, I don't want to sound like I know more than others or this or that, but I really don't pay much attention to anybody anymore on this thing. It's just kind of gotten so everybody's got a purpose for what they're doing or what they're trying to put out there, and other than just genuinely seeking for the help. But yeah, I just don't pay attention much anymore, especially to the raw vegan community. I just don't. I've got one or two groups that I actually like. I enjoy interacting with. But I don't. They're not heavy on sharing the video, so I don't see a lot of what's out there, and I just not really interested. Not really interested for my journey. It's not. I'm not. And well, let me make very clear. I'm not putting it down. It's just like I don't feel like I'm. I was getting very much from trying to watch things from raw vegan resources in a lot of senses. I don't know. I just stick to the basics now and then explore on my own. I have my core of stuff that I always mention, like China Study Hole, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn stuff, Dr. Greger stuff, 80-10-10, Brenda Davis, Becoming Vegan. And I have this stuff, like I have 4 or 5 or 6 really good sources that to me explain veganism and make sense, and to me go on a little bit further and explain the raw vegan lifestyle. So outside of these 2 or 3 sources, I'm really not taking in much information in general out there on this raw vegan lifestyle. So everything I do is my experiment. Everything I do is real instinctual. But everything right now just like pulls me to that fruit. And there's nothing that's going to ever be said and done from externally that's going to change my mind. Now, like I say, there could be, who knows, even though I'm feeling good now, maybe something happens in my body. Maybe it takes a while for things to happen, and I have to figure out, like, okay, I could never see giving up fruit, but I could see, like, okay, I don't even saying this would happen, but I could say, okay, well, something's happening. I'm not feeling right long term. Okay, I need to reduce the fruit, add some of this in. But until my body tells me, nah, not going to do it. Anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. I hope you enjoyed this video. If y'all like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and come back and watch more. See you guys again tomorrow. Peace.